Good. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, called this press conference in order to clarify where we are today. Yesterday, I did give an interview with the media and said that today, the 35th anniversary of Saba Saba, I was going to go to Kamukunji to join other Kenyans in commemorating this very important day. Unfortunately, as you all know, circumstances, today the roadblocks all over town, which has made it difficult for people to move to Kamukunji. In the circumstances, I've decided therefore to talk to the media here at Serena. Some of you may not know fully the history of Saba Saba. As you know that Kenya attained independence in 1963, and at that time it was a multi-party, three political parties, KANU, KADU, and then APP. Joined KANU, and KANU remained the only political party. However, in 1966, an opposition party was formed called the Kenya People's Union. This party survived for 3 years, and it was banned by the government in 1969, and the leadership of the party were arrested and taken to political detention. From that time onwards, Kenya remained a de facto single-party dictatorship from 1969 to 1982. 1982, when some of us wanted to form a political party, the regime then went to parliament and introduced a law to make the country a single party state de jure by introducing a constitutional amendment which is known as Section 2A that made it illegal to form any other political party. So from 1982, it remained literally a single party dictatorship. But that is the reason why in that same year there was a coup attempt which did not succeed. But before that, a number of Kenyans were arrested and taken to political detention. Most of them were lecturers at the University of Nairobi. Mukarunganga, people like Professor Katama Mukangi, Professor Willy Mutunga, Dr. Professor Yugi Akongo, quite a number of university lecturers were arrested and detained, and the others, Koigo Amwere, George Anyona, were taken to political detention. So this situation persisted. Some of us were arrested in that year, 1982, after the coup attempt, and taken to political detention. And we stayed there for 6 years. Then in 1988, KANU brought an amendment to his laws, saying that they are bringing what they call direct democracy. where there was a nomination process where people were lining up behind the candidate. And then the returning officer would count the voters who had lined up behind the candidate. And whoever got the highest number of votes, if you got more than 50% in total, you are automatically declared a member of parliament without having to go to the ballot. That process was abused, and many popular candidates were rigged at that stage, and therefore there was no real proper election in 1988. This now added momentum and anger to the movement for change. Among those people who had been rigged out were the late Kenneth Matiba and Charles Robia. So, come 1990, by that time I had been to detention 2 times. The 2 politicians, Kenneth Matiba and Charles Robia, on the 2nd of May 1990, addressed a press conference in which they said that Kenya, the time had come for Kenya to become a multi-party. That Kenyans wanted a multi-party system of government. They were condemned seriously as being ethnic chauvinists, anarchists, people who want to bring chaos in this country. They told that this country was not yet cohesive enough to become multi-party. It would take another 100 years before Kenya became a multi-party system. These were daydreamers. So the kind of machinery at that time set off now to demonize the 2 members of parliament, the 2 former members of parliament. And in the process, of course, a number of very inflammatory statements were made, even by some today politicians who are talking about democracy here. If you go into the archives, you see the names and what they said at that time. So in the process, Kenneth Matiba came to look for me to arrange for a meeting between him and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who's my father. I arranged the meeting, and then we met again. They met again with Mr. Robia, Mr. Neko, and after lengthy deliberations, the decision was taken that they would be supported. At that same time, they sent the goons to Matiba's home the following day to attack his family. Matiba's wife was very badly wounded, Edith, and she was admitted to Nairobi Hospital, where we went to see her. After that, we, myself and Kenneth Matiba and Charles Obia made a statement which we said we would go to Kamukunji to ask Kenyans if they were ready for multi-party. And we do it on the day of the 7th of July that year, 1990. 7th of July, 1990. So after making that statement, we then now went on to mobilize for the meeting at Kamukunji. But then, of course, the police officers came to block us from meeting each other. They were stationed in my office at Ajib House, Matiba's office, up there on Koinange Street, and Rubia's office, and Paul Mitchell's